Good evening, SBC. Good evening, SBCC. Good evening, BSL. And good evening to everyone else within the sound of my voice, north, south, east, west, and everywhere in between. You've tuned in to the August 8th, 2023 edition of SBC Tuesday Talk. And I am your host and moderator, facilitator, administrator, and anything else you want to add. Uh, Glad you could join us and glad you took a time to spend your Tuesday with us. And we don't take it for granted. We don't take it lightly. And we hope that you had a good day, a great day. And if not, we hope and pray things get better. And hopefully and prayerfully tomorrow be a better day. Okay. And like I said, glad you could join us. And it's been a busy day for me. I's tired, family. I'm worn out. No, I'm woe out. WOE, woe out. Okay. So without further ado, as we always do at this time, we do a few salutations to see who's here. Okay. Okay, who we got here? The gospel source from Long Island. Great to have you here. Great to have you here. Miss Shay, great to have you here. Good evening to you. Happy to have you here. Our friend Lynn Brown from Guyana. Always a pleasure to have you here. Pastor Walters. Always a pleasure and honor to have you here, sir. From Columbia, South Carolina. Tara Lynn Parker. Glad to have you. Good evening to you, ma'am. Great evening to you. Deborah Salazar. Good evening. Yes, from Trinidad. Hello, hello. Glad to have you here. And Tobago. Yolanda Williams Parrish. Good evening to you, ma'am. A great good evening. Who is this? Angel Kelly. Great to have you here. Good evening to you as well. Karen Jones Graham. Good evening to you from Bowie, Maryland. Great to have you. I think this is your first time here. Glad you could join us, and hopefully this will not be your last. Kirby Turner. Great to have you here, sir, from New Orleans, Louisiana. Great to have you here, sir. Glad you could join us. Vanessa Brown Bryant. Good evening to you, ma'am. Great to have you here. Melanie Douglas. Blessings to you as well, ma'am. Good to have you here. Rosalind Chapman from Brooklyn. Great to have you here. Great to have you. The most populous borough of New York City. Lizette Green from New Jersey. Great to have you here. T. Carter Rowe from the Sunshine State. Great to have you here, ma'am. Great to have you here. From North Carolina, Teresa Jones, the ice cream lady. Great to have you here as always. Queen Ministry Lewis. Kingdom blessings to you as well, ma'am. Yes, and you are also from the Sunshine State. Good. Okay, Zena Alston Pfizer from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I don't want you to hurt me. I want to make sure I get it right. Okay, glad to have you. Good evening from Alabama. Yes, a fellow Alabamian. Great to have you here, a fellow Alabamian. Rita Tarver from Colorado. Great. Glad to have you here. Kim Richardson. Hey to you too, Kim. I got my good eye on you. Hey, Kim. Glad to have you. Rochelle Drucker. Always a pleasure to have you here. Rochelle Ducker, rather. Don't punch me. Good evening to you, beautiful lady. Peg Hicks from Fort Myers, Florida. Great to have you here. Angela Oden from Alabama. Are you some kin to Pastor Oden? Just let us know. We're glad to have you here, ma'am. Okay, and Marilyn Gray from the Lone Star State. Good to have you here. Great, happy. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you here with us this evening. Okay, well, we got one more. Okay, and Kim Richardson, y'all, Alabama, y'all behave tonight. Please do. I know what she's talking about. Please behave tonight. Okay. Okay, let's get started though. Let's get started, folks. Oh, we got some more. Antoinette from the ATL, Atlanta. Good to have you here, sister. Uh, Antoinette and Hola, amigos from Maryland. Good to have you here, Elder Jones. Now, okay, and we'll get you. If we don't get you now, we'll get you in the comments as the show progresses. So don't worry about it. Up next, what I've been having this in queue for what 2 or 3 weeks, and we're gonna finally get to it tonight. Called "Here's a Tip for You." Here's a tip for you. So if you see the money emojis in this, then that's indicative of what we're talking about. Uh, Tips from services and mainly restaurants and what have you. And for me, with the type of business I do, they'll give me a nice, if they really, really pleased with the work. Some of them feel blessed and moved to give me a little extra something, a tip, which, hey, I appreciate it though. And you have people, ride sharers, they get paid and then you give them a tip if you like, or those who deliver your food, deliver your groceries, you give them a tip if you choose to. But what about the restaurant, the food service? And there's always been a debate about that, because I used to work food service many, many moons ago, and the pay, the pay was okay. The pay was okay, but whenever that person left that $2 or $3 there, that $5 there, it kind of added up, and it did pretty good though. And I remember one party I was catering. This lady came up to me, handed me a nice crisp $20 bill, told me thank you. I said, okay, that'll work right there. So, you know, tipping, and there's some debate about it though. And how many of y'all been in an industry where tipping was vital to your income? How many of y'all been in that? And how do you feel about tipping though? So I got some footage. Okay, got some footage. And let's start. I'm trying to think which one I want to start with. I just do anti-tipping first. Okay, let's start with the anti-tipping first. Y'all take a listen.
This is actually a really weird thing to say, and I'm so tired of y'all saying it. So let me flip it around so y'all understand. If you can't keep your business afloat, if you don't get a 20% tip, then maybe you shouldn't have your business. You see how that sounds? A person can afford the service if you say your price outright. If you as a business owner know how much you have to spend on supply, know how much taxes take, then you should adjust your prices so you can keep your business afloat while providing your service. You shouldn't have to depend on whether people give you tips or not. That doesn't make sense. Because if it's not mandatory and then you get mad at them, that's not their fault. Why don't you add that 20% into your price? So now that person can know if they can afford it outright instead of affording some hidden fee. A tip shouldn't be a hidden fee. It should be a tip.
It is, I don't know what happened with that, but so do y'all think a tip is a hidden fee? Do you think tips are mandatory? Well, as a consumer, how do you feel? Do you feel that tips should be mandatory? Or do you rather just prefer to give it on your own volition and your own choice? And those who work for food service and other areas that, hey, your income really depends on tips. How do you feel about that? Should companies pay you outright, what you're expecting? Should the burden of the general public be responsible for filling in that to subsidize, your take home pay. How do y'all feel about that? I think we got some in here. As I work there, let me see. I hope. Okay, Vanessa. I worked in 1980 for $1.80 per hour and was able to keep tips. So I had to provide good service in order to get a great tip. And somebody correct me, Vanessa and all others. What's minimum wage in 1980? 335, or somebody looked that up for me. I think that was 335. So you was getting paid below minimum wage right there. So, and those tips came in handy though. So, Angela, to me, customer service is very important. First off, okay, Sister Tara, I agree with the young lady. Okay, and people agree. Is it the general public's position to fill in that gap to subsidize food services, you know take home pay, you know or should it fall, does it fall squarely on the establishment's owner? So okay, Kim says tips are no longer a choice, there is a feeling of obligation. Now listen, when I go out to eat, hey, I'll leave a tip. I'm not gonna try to pay one of your bills with it, but I'm gonna leave a tip for you. And hey, especially if you did great service. If you did great service, then wow. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely take care of you. Do I look burnt to y'all? Let me change this light. This light kind of disturbing me a bit. Hold on. Oh, I didn't mean to cut it off. Let me see. Uh-uh. Let's try this for the remainder of the show and see how that look. I look kind of burnt on the screen. Okay, that does look a little better. Okay, yeah, tips are no longer a choice. Yeah. Similar to that, yes, I was in high school. Okay. Erica from the Sunshine State. If I'm dining in, I give nice tips. They often don't get paid well. Teresa says, no, tips are not a hidden fee and should not be mandatory. I feel you earn a tip. I do feel that companies should pay more. I have worked in a job that I got tips, but I provided good service. Okay. Sister Parrish, yes, we are all required to give a tip. Okay. Okay, now, yeah. Yeah, $3.10 in 1980. Okay, thank you, Sister Caldwell. Good to have you. Yeah, okay. And I think somewhere in the mid 80s it went up to 335, but I'm glad you brought that up. So that's indicative that she was getting paid $1.80. Wow, that was definitely well below minimum wage right there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Who is this? Sister Chapman, waiters don't get paid much. A tip for their services is great. Peg Hicks. Because of how the tipping goes, you have to be able to give good customer service. I tip on how my server serve. And that's how I usually go right there. Okay. Good to have you, Sister Annette. Like picking that up. Elder Jones, some of us do not know how much waiters and waitresses are paid. And that is true. That is true. Sister Pfizer, I don't mind tipping when appropriate. What ludicrous is to bully folks into tipping, i.e., fast food, coffee shops, and even online orders. I get so irritated by that mess. I haven't even interacted with anyone. Okay. And I agree with that. I agree with some of that. Good evening to you, AB from Canada. Good evening, good evening, good evening. 1981. Okay, it went to 335 in 1981. But that still doesn't help. And you didn't get a raise in 1981? I mean, I'm just curious, not to look in your pocket though. I'm just curious on how tips helped you out back then, though. So that is interesting to me. T says, I think companies should pay their employees a decent base pay. I'm a tipper and I will pay 10% of the tip regardless of the customer service. But if your service was great, I give great. Mm-hmm. And that made me think while I was just reading these comments for a little bit. Let me put this back up here. That I remember again when I used to work in a grocery store and I would help the shoppers take their groceries to the car. Of course, some would tip and some wouldn't. That's just how it went. So, and that little bit helped. And we say this now. That was back in the 80s, and now it's 2023. And I say it now. Every little bit helps. So, you know, but like I said, maybe the company should pay their employees so the burden shouldn't fall on the consumer to fill in that gap. But like a lot of people are saying, if they provide good service, then yeah, I have no problem giving you that little extra some. Know how the old folks used to say, ball it up and put in your hands at here, put it in your pocket, something like that. So let's see what the rest of y'all saying though. Let me see. La 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 la. Oh, y'all went in here good too. Let me see. Good evening, January. T says, okay, you said that, Kirby. I tip generously, especially if you give good service, because most people depend on it. And it seems to come back to me in various ways. I've always been blessed. It seems like the more I give, the more come back to me. I understand that. If they provide bad service, no tip. Mm-hmm. And Angela says, see, you said service. You have to be a people person and treat your customers like you want to be treated and don't make them wait for you to be on point. Wait, you should be on point with your customers, okay? Have you ever not tipped? If you ask me that, yeah, I haven't. I have. Have I ever not tipped? Yes, I have not tipped at times, but not modern, not recent times. Back then when I couldn't afford to tip. I know what you're saying. I shouldn't have been eating, but hey, we talking about minor stuff or what have you. But there are times I didn't tip. I tip now. Definitely I tip now. So, you know, tip doesn't go back. Okay, waiters get half a minimum wage. Wow. Okay, no. Okay. The customer service, Kiki Ray, good to have you here. The customer service industry has went down in service and went up in tip expectations. Wow, wow, wow. That's a mouthful right there. That's a mouthful right there. I agree with that. I agree with that. Hey, Margaret from Pennsylvania, good to have you here. And hey, Andrea, good to have you here. Angel Kelly. The employer should pay their employees a fair wage. The employees should provide good customer service based on their employment duties. The concept does not make sense. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put a tip. Excuse me. I'm gonna put a point right there. Stop it at this point right here. Put a pin right here. Got another video that's pro tipping. That's pro tipping. So y'all take a listen, okay?
People love to complain about restaurants being short-staffed and not having employees and how they gotta wait and how everything take too long. But if this is what y'all do when y'all go out, what do y'all expect? Don't nobody want to work for this. People like this is why people think like they don't even want to work in the restaurants. That's trash, bro. It's just trash. It's trash.
Now that's another argument. Where that's an argument for tips. And then I can understand her argument. Say it's a big party and it's in the at least a couple of $1,000s or at least 1,000. Hey, a nice tip, a tip from that would help out a whole lot. And I don't know about y'all, but it definitely would help me out though. No, I ain't balling like that. So Let me see who we got here. Let me see. Let me see. Vanessa. Most regular customers sat in a certain section, and the waitresses knew who were the big tippers. And I knew who the big tippers were when I was in the restaurant business. I knew who the big tippers were. I knew that right there. Sister Ducker. I feel that we should tip them even when they give us bad service, because in the end, God will bless us and give us back double fold. And do y'all agree with that? Part of me do. Part of me feeling like you, hey, they might have been having a bad day. Who knows what's going on? And then some people don't want to reward subpar service. It's almost go mix, mix, mix. So how do y'all feel about that right there? Hey, Erica, glad to have you here. I'm self-employed and make custom ladies clothing, casual and formal. Customers know I go above and beyond to make them look fabulous. Some tip, most don't. But that's okay because I make sure I get my worth. This this is not Shine or Fashion Nova. I hear you, Miss Erica. I hear you. And I feel the same way because in the business I do, graphic arts and web and what have you, I make sure that my customers are satisfied. I make sure they get the best service possible. And even if they don't tip me then, I definitely get return you know, business from them. So you got to do it right. You got to do it right. You do good, they come back to you. So I like that right there. Okay, Peg says, why should the company get all the money and pay less to the people who keep the customers coming back? And you know what? I like that what you said, because sometimes people like the waiters and waitresses. They like them. Say, hey, it's such and such here. Sure. I want them to wait on me. You done made that good of an impression on them that hey, they willing to give you, that extra, cabbage right there. So, definitely right there. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Vanessa, tip fees are 18%. It used to be a mandatory 15 on a part of 6 or more. But again, but why doesn't it have to be? Why does it have to be mandatory? Why can't the restaurant owner, franchise owner, whoever, to simply pay that person what they're worth? And then again, like I said, tipping should be voluntarily. I don't think tipping should be mandatory. Well, no, that's how I feel about it. Okay, Tony, good to have you here. In some countries, tipping is considered an insult. Wages should cover the staff, not my tip. And a lot of people saying that. A lot of people saying it. And I say this again. I definitely don't mind tipping, but I just don't feel the burden of the consumer, burden of filling in that gap should fall on the consumer. Okay, drinks in restaurants are now $4. Wow. Some places it's more than that though. Sneak a Pepsi in there or something. Angela said, okay, like the comedy club. If you have a party of 5 or more, the tip is at the end of your meal. So you have to look and see what they charge you, plus your meal and drink. But what if your waiter is no good in your services? What do you do? That's a good question. Are you talking about the Stardome? Let me know. But yeah, I definitely understand what you mean though. And sometimes you don't get a refill. Wow. Love is liberation. Be free. Good to have you here. Whenever someone is performing a service for me, I always tip. I am grateful to have someone provide the service. Therefore, I tip. If I don't have the money to tip, I take my meal to go. That's a pretty good way to go. Okay. If everyone gets a tip, how do you promote good customer service? I get what you're saying. That means no matter how shoddy of a job I do in serving my patrons, I'm still gonna get a tip regardless. I get exactly what you said right there. Okay, Karen P, good to have you. Many restaurants have started adding 20% to the tab. I wonder if the wait staff is receiving the full 20%. There was a story some years ago about this young lady. She served this big party, and they gave, and I'm just really kind of paraphrasing it all. And please check up behind me though. But she served this big party, and she made about 1,000, 1,500 in tip. They gave her a $1,500 tip. Now that's pretty good right there. And again, that would have been put a big smile on my face. But guess what? The restaurant demanded that she split that tip with the rest of the wait staff, the kitchen staff. Okay. Now I forgot how it ended though, but they demanded that she should share the tip with her co-workers. You see how I'm looking right now. You see how I'm looking right now. Okay. Kiki, the tips are up to 25% for everything. Even when you pick up food. Why am I paying you a tip for picking up my food? And that's an interesting observation. Yes. Okay. The star dove. Okay. Vanessa, I do sneak in a drink. The hidden fees that you need to look out for is the added fee for using your debit card at the restaurant. I always ask now if there's a fee for using my debit card. Otherwise, I pay cash. Mm-hmm. And she should she should share with her co-workers, or she should raise a stink about it. Help me out here. Okay, help me out here. And I'll ask this other question though. To you who go out on dates, first dates or what have you. And I really don't mean to make this a sex issue, but definitely, ladies, when the man take you out, how does his tipping play a part in whether or not there'll be another date or you should go further with him? Does his tipping say anything about his character? Or does he tip at all? Does that make a difference to you? I heard people say, hey, how he treats the wait staff, that makes a difference to them. What say y'all? What say y'all about that? She should share with her workers. Okay. What do y'all say about that? Do you think she should have shared with her workers, even though this? Y'all answer in the comment section. Should she have shared it in workers? And I ask you this, Sister Odin, why should she have to ask? I'm just asking. Why should she share with her work? That sounds like a tongue twister right there. Brother Wallace, great to have you here. Whenever I go out, I always give the best tip possible. I had an experience where a waitress did not provide the best service, but I tipped her and sat her down before I left and expressed something about her service. I prayed for her and told her everything would be all right because she's dealing with a family issue. Sometimes we don't know what these waiters or waitresses go through sometimes. Okay, if he takes me out and pay for everything, I will pay the tip. And I've definitely heard that too. And sometimes it's been flipped. If she takes me out, I'm paying the tip. Okay, depends on the policy. Okay, Teresa says no, she should not share with her workers if she waited on the group. Okay, Tony says if he doesn't leave a tip, then he would be suspect, stingy. Okay. Did any of them help her with the party? From what I'm gathering, no. And then again, somebody please check up behind me. This old mind of mine's though. She was the lone server. So, okay. And some restaurant staff do have a share of their tips. Wow. Sometimes it make you wonder, is this one big scam? Okay, I agree. Okay, I agree. Okay, we're staying on this though. I know this is a good topic, but you know what, folks? Side note. Hey, Sheila. Good to have you. What's your side note? Uh-oh, y'all coming in. Let me read these last ones. It makes all the difference in the world. I want a man who is kind and generous. I love to see a man with compassion and forethought to know the servants are working hard. Okay. My date doesn't even see the bill come to me, nor does she know what I gave for a tip. Okay. If he doesn't leave a tip, he is arrogant and rude. I leave a nice tip and see it as bad character. Okay. If I ask for a dish specifically for a particular choice, the meat is cooked a certain way, if it's great, like it, okay. Tips are not mandatory. Okay. And you tip, you get good food service. Okay. Hey, D Giles. Okay. Y'all stepped in on that one right there. Okay. We got to move on to the main course. Ain't that something? Talking about restaurants, and now we're gonna move on to the main course. Before we do, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Up next, men and their emotions. Men and their emotions. Well, okay. Now, how did I come up with that? Well, you asked good questions. Last week, this came from last week. If you watched last week's show, we were talking about the dating blues. And they had this one fella up there. He was talking about how he was stood up and he was rather emotional about it. And of course, some people sympathized with him, and then some people jumped on him for crying, being a man and crying. So, what do y'all think about that, though? About a man crying, about a man being able to show his emotions. And ladies, I'm definitely talking to you. Let me see what I can do. I got several ones I want to show you. And I think this is why men may be withholding their emotions. Now, maybe some blue salted language in it, so I'm begging y'all pardon up front, though. So y'all take a listen.
One of the biggest problems most men have in their relationships is expressing how they feel effectively without getting upset or angry at their woman. So many men don't want to look vulnerable or weak, so they hide their true emotions with anger or dismissiveness. This is a sure way to have your woman look at you as weak or insecure. A true masculine man will learn to respond versus react and explain to his woman why he feels the way he does. And because of this, she will respect and understand him better. One of the biggest problems most men have in their relationships is expressing how they feel effectively without getting upset or angry at their woman. So many men don't want to look vulnerable or weak, so they hide their true emotions with anger or dismissiveness. This is a sure way to have your woman look at you as weak or insecure. A true masculine man will learn to respond versus react and explain to his woman why he feels the way he does. And because of this, she will respect and understand him better.
Okay. So what say you, ladies? Let's say, well, men, do you agree with him? Should you feel safe and secure? And this is probably a rhetorical question, though, but should you feel safe and secure to be able to release your emotions around the woman that you're dating? Or even a female friend for that matter. Do you have that female friend that y'all talk to each other and y'all boo-hoo and cry and what have you? Do y'all have that? And to the ladies, though, how do you feel about a man opening up? And again, I understand y'all didn't want him just boo-hooing all the time though. But how do you feel about a man opening up to you, opening up his emotions to you? How do y'all feel about that? Okay, here we go. We off to the races. Okay. Let me see. Let's get to this. Was that real? Yes, that was I think if you're talking about that video, yes, that was from a broadcast. So yes, that was good and real. It depends on the circumstances. Okay. AB says, I prefer to comfort those who are sad instead of receiving anger. I'm always ready to hug a person or offer counsel. Kitty, good to have you here. Nothing is wrong with a man crying or showing emotions. Recording it and posting it online is a sucker move. Okay? And I say it goes, yeah, I agree. I just say it like this. I agree. I say this right now. I was trying not to. I hate when anyone do it, man or woman. Go online, something that happened to them. Y'all give me a few seconds. Y'all give me a few. I'm gonna tell you how it look. Just tell you how they look they online. They sit up there. I just don't know. I'm sorry. I just had to talk to somebody. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what your boy going to do. And I didn't mean to. Don't ask me what's going on. Don't ask me what's going on. Just y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me. That's what's happening. I hate that. I hate that. Wait, I need a sip. I hate that. Don't y'all see that? I can't stand that right there. Ooh, I can't stand that. That make my toes curl. Ooh, I can't stand it. I'm glad you said that, kitty. Okay. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Those who share their emotion will probably profit from better lives. Amen to that. Amen to that. Erica, assertiveness is very important. And I think it's toxic to disallow someone to have emotions. Okay, that's good right there. Antoinette, it's important for men to express their emotions. It needs to be done in moderation, though. And let me ask you this. So, should the level of expression emotion, is there a certain different level when it comes to a woman? Like, is a woman allowed to do a 5 while a man should only do a 2 or 3? Y'all answer that for me. Expressing emotions now. Okay, Kim says, I think the issue was social media crying, not a man shedding a tear with me. Okay, a woman recording it and posting online would have been a sucker. We see it all the time. We see it all the time. Karen, I would want a real man to open up and express his feelings, so I will be able to understand him better. I love to see a man's human side. Wow. You can open up, but if you're an over emotional, as in most situations, that would get on my nerve. You just don't understand. Yeah, I get you. And I'm not mocking anybody, but I definitely understand. Okay. Men share every emotion except sadness and pain through tears. That's a good one right there. That's a good one. That's a real good one right there. I hope I can remember this. Let me see if I could try to start this. So, yeah, good. I'll come back to that one because I like that. Sheila, because he have been hurt, and you have to be careful when a man is expressing himself. No, because you don't know what state of mind this man is in. Just be careful. Okie dokies. Teresa says, I would love for my man to open up to me and feel safe doing so. I just hope he does not cry all the time for any little thing. So for y'all watching a tearjerker movie, you already crying. What if he started crying? Is that acceptable, ladies? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. Sister Gradine, glad to have you here. Men should express their emotions freely. I would say that if he's anything like Justin from Married at First Sight, it's a no for me. Not the crying at first sight. Mm. Sandra from Opelika, good to have you here, pretty lady. I think when a man opens up, he trusts you enough with the hard times that he needs someone the most to be vulnerable with. Okay? Attention seekers. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, attention seekers. You know, but I can't believe it happened. Hey, bro, what's going on? I'll tell you later. Well, I can't believe what happened. What happened, sis? Y'all in my business. Okay. Uh, mm. Sometimes people can be manipulative, but you can usually tell the difference. Yes, you can. Kiki, I like a man who can express his feelings, thoughts, and views respectfully. But a person like the singer Tyrese, I feel like he's always crying and whining, and I don't like that. Okay. Sister Crenshaw, I don't think he's weak if he gets angry. I think people get upset at some point. All men and women aren't experts at communicating. It does take a strong man to not get angry or upset in an argument. Sister Felix, good to have you here. We all know to use wisdom in relating. Both men and women don't be vulnerable around someone who has shows you that they don't care about you. Okay, gotcha. Brother Wallace, excuse me, yeah. I honestly hide my emotions, honestly. And if I do shed tears, I usually just pray and talk with the Lord. Okay. Okay, D Giles. Depends on the circumstances again. Okay, Vanessa. No, because it's based on the nature of his pain that caused his tears. Okay, yes. Okay, Karen. A real man can cry and have emotions. It's just excessive crying for insignificant reasons tend to turn me off because it makes me feel. I understand. I understand. Yes. Okay. Erica. A lot of men cry internally. It causes them to be emotionally unavailable. I want to be in a safe space for a man to express himself and not be passive. Okay, Zena. Depends on the movie. Passion of Christ, yes. The uh, I'm with you. All right with me, Zena. You all right with me. I did like the dope book though. Okay. Kitty, if you come online crying, I'm gonna be in your business. All in your comments. And now I'm fully invested in your drama. Why bring it up if you don't want nobody in your business? Why bring it up? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Tara Lynn, some people are looking for pitch. What you say? What you say? Agreed. It would be different. Tia from Kansas City, great to have you here as always. I love how Travis and Jason Kelce expressed their joy, concern, and love for one another while they were playing against one another in the Super Bowl this year. They remained strong while also showing a healthy range of emotion, including their pride and appreciation for their mom. Now, yeah, definitely right there. You can't help but to cry like that, you know. And I'll tell y'all quick, there's some movies that I'm just gonna tell you two things: the color purple, when Suge Avery reunited with her father. So I'm already boohooing right there, you know. And then when Celia reunite with her kids and her sister, and I'm like, ugh, I'm just like this, I'm just like this. I'm just a bad mess right there. That gets me all these years. And that movie almost 40 years old, and that still gets me. And don't get me started with The Imitation of Life, the 1959 version. But then there's some things I just laugh at, but okay. Are there any movies that get y'all tore up though? I wonder if the guy who got stood up looked different, if he would have received a little more sympathy. Comments immediately went left. Mm-hmm. Hey, Cassandra, good to have you here, as always. Let me go back to this comment, what Sheila Penn says right here. Men share every emotion except sadness and pain through tears. And it's funny that you bring that up. There's another clip. And listen to what this sister, has to say about men and emotions and getting men to express their emotions. Y'all take a listen.
Men don't have multiple areas in the brain for emotions. They only have 2 areas of the brain for emotion, and they compartmentalize it. So how women will be like, oh, it's like pulling teeth to get him to talk. It's because men can very easily just set aside the emotion. And if they do tap into the emotion, it's pure emotion because they're not able to solve problems and talk and hear at the same time. So it's just this one area for emotion. And then if it's going to come out, it's going to come out raw and scary.
So, sisters, do y'all agree with that? Brothers, how do y'all feel? Do we have only 2 places for emotions? Sisters, how do you feel? Do you agree with her? Do you agree with her? Let's read in the comments. See what we have here. Imitation of life. Okay, I'm gonna get to that. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't get me like it used to though. It doesn't get me like it used to. My allergies might act up a little bit though. Okay, Kitty, his looks didn't matter to me. It was his unnoticed one. Yeah, and people don't like a whiner. I think now, listen to me good. A person has a right to whine and cry and express their emotions in private, or if they have that close person they could do it to. But nothing wrong with that. But you shouldn't. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You shouldn't get on there saying, "Oh, I'm sad," and crying and what have you. It's embarrassing, and then sometimes you're seeking attention. But then again, hey, what do I know? What do I know? I'm just a group owner. I don't know anything. I never seen my dad cry. Okay. I think I only seen my stepdad when he was alive. I think I only seen him cry one time. I think that was the only time I seen him cry. So unnecessary. Okay. Here comes Kitty. What's her PhD? How long has she been studying braids? Otherwise, she could be quiet. Kitty, I'm gonna say this right now. I almost asked you to be up here with me. I almost did, and I probably should have though. It's just a scientific fact or an excuse. I think it is an excuse, Sister Ray. I think it's an excuse. Oh yeah, how does she know? Yeah, has she taken somebody's head and took the brain out and examined it? How would she know? Okay, how about the myth that men don't cry? Oh, men do cry. Trust and believe. We cry. We cry. We cry. We cry. This, okay. Men that love you to death, have a very, that's scary right there. You may need to kind of do a double back on that. That's rather scary right there. I don't know. You might need to back away from that, brother, right there. For some reasons, I think she's talking out the side of her neck. Unless she has a medical degree after her name, I say I stay clear of psychological meanings to anything. Men are equipped to share their emotions. We as a society have conditioned not to express them. You know what? I'm gonna pin that right there. I'm gonna have to come back to that one right there. Hey, brother Will Banks, Dr. Will Banks, glad to have you here. That's all it is, a myth. D. Giles. It could crying out for help, crying for gratitude, crying for joy, crying out of anger, crying for loss and pride. Tia. No, men are complex individuals. Yeah, we are. And can multitask and process on more than a base level of reaction. She make it sound as though men have an on and off switch. You know, I heard someone say this about uh, thinking, how men and women think. They think differently. And y'all tell me if y'all agree or disagree. That men think with logic, but women think with their heart. So y'all tell me, I just heard this. This is what I heard. I just tell you, I think that was Pastor John Hagee. He said that many years ago. So y'all tell me what that, what y'all think about that though. Kitty. Oh, here comes Kitty. I can't, the machine ain't working tonight. Go ahead. You should have. You know I'm gonna have. I came this close. Something came up. I forgot. I came real close. I did not agree. Obviously, a lot of men are able to have a wide range of emotions, just like women. The compartmentalization is a learned behavior. Compartment. Okay. I'm a tongue-tied twister. Yes, they do. Exactly. How does she know? Expose typos. I understand. I understand. I remember hearing that we don't have as many elderly men around because they held in so much, took on so much stress, and are not around. Wow. Mm, 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 mm. Angel says she should not generalize, placing all men in the same category. Okay, Kiki says, tell me that's called emotional abuse. Exactly. You need to get away from that right there. That's scary right there. Definitely. Imitation of Life, The Butler. I don't remember. I like The Butler. I don't remember anything that made me cry. I never saw Harriet and Color Purple. So, Tony. Some men definitely C word. Not sure just about two emotions though. Okay. Compartmentalize. Y'all give me a gold star. Okay. Need attention. Okay. Pig. Okay. Dr. Will Banks. She thinks she knows all men. I was born analytical to realize that she doesn't know how much words do hurt. Okay. I can't generalize for all women or all men. Okay. Sister Knox, glad to have you here. Could men who do not show their emotions are they guarding their feelings? I could say at one point I was, like I'm only speaking for myself. Men, the brothers out there, how did you handle it? How do you handle it? Okay. Kitty, I don't agree. I think a lot of people's behaviors are a result of upbringing, culture, societal influences. It's more of a logic motivated woman, and I know women who are heart driven. Same with men. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, I get you. A lot of folks cried too. I've heard that as well. Men are logical thinkers, and women are emotional. I must say that I'm a logical thinker. Therefore, I can't say that it's a generalized statement. Okay. Pig says, I've cried off 5 heartbeats. Oh, that's a national monument right there. The 5 heartbeats. Duck. I love that right there. I love that right there. Let me go back to and I'll play y'all a little quick clip. You know, what she said right here. I stay clear. I just read this part. Men are equipped to share their emotions as we as a society conditioned not to express them. Okay. I went back to that. Got a final clip on this, and it got some rough language. So I'm just letting y'all know. Got some naughty language. Y'all grown, but it's still some naughty language. So, you know, I'm just letting y'all know in advance. Y'all take a listen.
Being vulnerable with a woman is some of the worst advice that modern day women give to men, because if I sit there and I cry to you, oh my God, my life is hard, blah, 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 you might sit there and console me for a bit, but deep down you're like, you're going to go and find someone.
So not true.
I know.
No, vulnerability shows vulnerability is so powerful.
Again, this is a common example of women saying one thing but doing another. They're saying this right now, but deep down, if your man came to you and was crying on your shoulder saying, I don't know what's going on, her vagina's going to... Can I finish? Her vagina's going to dry up. She ain't going to want to fuck with him anymore. And she's going to look for a stronger, more capable man, because women are designed to look for security.
Just because they cry once, bro?
Hey, man, I can't tell you how many times we've brought girls on the show with their own... They tell us on air, one time my boyfriend cried in front of me, and I never looked at him the same.
So, what's your thoughts on what the brother said? What do y'all think? Like I said again, I apologize for the salted language. So definitely. Let me see. Vanessa. All men are not logical thinkers. I agree with you 100%. Go ahead and add beaches and fried green tomato. I have never seen either one of those. I need to put that on my. I have never seen either one of those. So I've never seen either one. Roseman, I can't speak for all the other brothers. However, I don't guard mine. Okay. And you know what, Kitty? I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100% when he said, let me finish. It just sounds kind of scary right there. I agree with you 100%. Yeah. Okay. Veronica, he's projected. He hasn't dated all women. Absolutely. And sometimes you look at how he's acting, make you wonder why, you know. Cap. Okay. Let me see. The women were idiots for doing that. Okay. Rhonda from the Sunshine State. Good to have you here. Lies. They do that to him because they don't like him. Okay. Cassandra. Then the women that feel like they have the problem. Okay. Kim said he's ignorant. Okay. Kitty. Like he's been mistreated before for opening up. Now, there are women who will treat a man badly for crying, but that's not all of us, okay? Brother Wallace, all women are not the same. Absolutely. I can tell you that right now. Wow. The young people, but mature adults embrace their emotions. Sister Leslie from Beham, great to have you here. Crying isn't an issue. I'm not sure why someone would think that. There's a difference between grieving and being a crybaby. Erica Edwards. I would never date someone like him, and I don't blame you. He will be elusive and very guarded emotionally. In other words, a representative. That's a good one to close this part out. I just say this right now? Wait, I got to put this one up here, what Kiki says. Maybe they are girls and not women whom he is speaking of. And Tony says, I never seen a man I'm in a relationship cry. It would be a surprise, but I hope that he would feel safe to do that with me. And I'm already in love, so it wouldn't bother me. Now that's a good stopping part right there. So all I'm going to say is, we have emotions. We have emotions. Men do cry. This man you looking at right now, he cry. You know, I received some good news today, and I got emotional talking to the Lord, praising him. So I do cry. Men cry. you know, I cry. I'm a crybaby when my mom fixes my favorite dish. I'm blubbering. I'm eating at the same time I'm crying too. And cry. Uh-oh. I disappeared that time. Okay, all men cry. So okay, we're just gonna move on to the last thing though. But before we do, like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, and share. Okay. Up next, we just got this one. We close out with something lighthearted. Here we go. It's something simple. Hot sauce. It's something simple. Hot sauce. How many of y'all eat hot sauce or use hot sauce or any kind of condiment for that matter? But hot sauce, something spicy with some heat though. And of course, I got a graphic here, right there. That goes pretty much a Hall of Fame right there, and definitely that crystal. That Louisiana, especially if you're in the South, that Louisiana. And Texas Pete is my choice, though. I like them all, though, but I don't use it like I used to. I do not use hot sauce like I used to. So, how many out there use it? How many of y'all still use it? What is your brand of hot sauce? We're not going to be on this long. What is your brand? What do you like to use? We got one. Let me get to the comments. Texas Pete. Yep. That's the one I use most of the time. Texas Pete. Yes. Okay. She doesn't use hot sauce. I don't use it like I used to. Frank's. Okay. That's good. Cholula. Okay. I never had that before. Okay. Tabasco, Texas Pete, and Red Hot. Okay. Kitty says, I only use hot sauce when the Chinese restaurant puts it on my fries, and that's it. Okay, Louisiana. Yep, that's what I grew up on, Louisiana or Crystal. Those are the two I grew up on. Kiki says, I like the taste of buffalo wing sauce, and I like jerk seasoning. And you know what? That's it right there. And I think Frito-Lay just went crazy with heat on their Doritos. Everybody doesn't like heat. Just give me a nice something that I can enjoy casually. I don't like too much heat, but I do like Texas Pete, though. It's not too bad, though. Okay, I get you. Tabasco or Frank's, okay. Tabasco or Cholula, okay. Sriracha sauce that I tried to find one, and that's pretty good. I use it on a lot of the Asian dishes I cook. Sister Coleman, good to have you here. I used to, but Crystal, then Texas Pete. Yep. Like I said, I grew up on Crystal in Louisiana. Okay, Crystal is my favorite. In Louisiana is what I cook hot food with sometimes. Okay. Frank's. Okay. Frank's. Who else we got here? DJ Tabasco on my oysters. Ooh, that sounds good right there. I hear spicy foods make hot flashes. Okay, I understand. Yes, let's see little sriracha. Okay. Margaret says red hot or crystals. I don't use often anymore. Okay. Does it really? Yeah, okay. I never heard of that. Okay. I love hot sauce, Louisiana. Okay. Okay, then. That's a good one right there. Okay. Let me get off of this. And guess what, folks? That's it. We out of time. We are out of time. So, you know what time it is. It's time for those announcements. If I can find the announcements. Up next, either at 1:30 or sometime thereafter, we're going to have our Tuesday after party. Just bring your snack and your beverage and everything else and just come in and just have a good time, And this is for group members only. So don't bring in outsiders. If you do, well, I have to kick you out, though. We don't want to do that, though. So just come on, join us. And if it's the Lord's will, we're going to have another spicy edition of SBC Tuesday Talk. So make sure you join us at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And people, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your presence. And again, like I always tell you, I do not take it lightly. Thank you for your support. And, don't take too much hot sauce. Now, that'll make you cry. Men, too much hot sauce will make you emotional. So, and if it's nothing else, thank y'all so much. And if it's the Lord's will, we'll see each other next week. Until then, y'all take care and don't take any wooden nickels. See y'all later.